Let's open with a quote from the Wall Street Journal. We used to talk about our audience. Now, we increasingly talk about our audiences. At the Google News Initiative, we like this quote because it captures two important concepts very succinctly. One, it is very important to understand the profiles, interests, needs, and behaviors of people who come to your website. Two, it is important to use that knowledge to ensure you're delivering relevant news to the many different types of audiences that your publication serves. I am Sibel Lowen from the Google News Initiative. In this video, we are going to share some ideas for acting on both of those concepts. Based on Google's work with news organizations around the world, we are going to walk you through how to learn about your many different audiences using a very simple tool, surveys. There are, of course, many other ways to gather information on your readers. You can do interviews or focus groups, host feedback sessions, solicit letters to the editor, or allow comments on your articles, to name a few. But one of the easiest, most data-driven, and most controllable ways to get audience research is through surveys. So that is our focus for this video. Let's get started with perhaps the most basic question. What should you ask your audience? We've created an example of a 10-question survey using Google Forms, which you can copy and duplicate if you'd like. Please be mindful of the privacy laws in your country when tailoring your own survey. Put very simply, you want to start by asking who, what, and why. Who? Who is this audience member? This might include their gender, age, location, household income, education level, or a number of other pieces of data. This information will be useful later when you're analyzing the results, and it may also help when you're describing your audience to advertisers or funders. What? As in, what are their news habits? How do they get their news? When and in what formats? And why? Why does your news coverage matter to them? Do they care about better understanding their community, funding investigative journalism, learning more about certain issues? And a few general tips when putting together your survey. 1. Keep the survey as short as possible while still gathering the necessary data. 2. Use clear, unbiased language in the survey questions. 3. Test the survey to ensure that it is understandable and easy to complete before sending it out to your whole target sample. This can even be done by sharing it with a few friends. 4. Use questions with scales, multiple choice answers, or rankings to make the analysis easier. You can also have an open-ended question to get more nuanced information from your respondents. And 5. Decide on your desired sample size and sampling method before launching your survey. Speaking of launching your survey, there are many ways to distribute these surveys. You can put out an open call for responses through your website or create a specific page where readers can share this information. Or you can contact a listserv of readers if they have registered to receive emails or texts from you. Whatever your method, be transparent about how the information is valuable to you. Try to make an emotional human connection with your readers in explaining how this information can support the work that your news organization does. One note of caution: many members of your audiences simply won't take surveys. They are too busy or not interested in sharing their information, and that's perfectly understandable. But as you analyze the results, be conscious of the limitations of this data. There may well be overrepresentation of certain audiences in your survey results. You can counterbalance this by comparing the results you get to the overall composition of your audience to see, for instance, if you are missing out on feedback from a certain age group or racial demographic. If you use Google Analytics, you can also supplement your survey information by looking at the data available under Audiences. But anyway, let's get back to surveys. Once you have gathered information on your audience, what do you do with this? One suggestion is to create target audiences or personas. These are basically groups of similar respondents. Forming these segments can be helpful in thinking about and better understanding the different audiences your publication serves. Personas can help your team remember your audience's needs, serve as reference points in discussions, or capture differences between your audiences. These personas can be based on demographics, news habits, reasons for following your coverage. Take the time to analyze the needs of your different audiences. This can be done by literally filling in the blanks of the following sentences by putting yourself in the shoes of your readers. When a certain type of situation occurs, I want to take a certain action so I can achieve a certain outcome. The result might be something like, when news breaks out at local schools, I want to receive immediate alerts on my phone so I can stay on top of news that impacts my family. This summary can help you check whether your final product solves your readers' needs. If you would like some inspiration on what those needs can be, the BBC developed a list of 6 reasons their audiences tuned into their coverage. 1. To be updated. 2. To be kept on trend. 3. To be inspired. 4. To be amused. 5. To be educated. And 6. To get perspective. Understanding how common each of those 6 instincts is might influence your coverage. We will share one last idea for using survey information to create an overarching mission statement of sorts for your organization, or simply to develop products that are aligned with your mission. It might sound overly simplistic, but a well-designed mission statement can help clarify your goal and make sure it reflects back to your audiences what you stand for and why they should be invested in you. Another fill-in-the-blanks exercise is shown here on the screen, which can help you with that. R. Fill in your type of news coverage helps fill in your personas who want to fill in their motivation by explain the gain or reduction in pain. And here's an example of how it may come to life. In this case, here's how Chalkbeat, a nonprofit news organization committed to reporting on education in America, used it in their framework. Our newsletter helps local parents who want to participate in school board meetings by reducing the burden of information gathering and by equipping them with the most recent policy trends. So to recap, surveys can be a great way to better understand your audiences. You can get started simply on Google Forms by cloning our sample 10-question survey and directly editing it to fit your needs. Once you gather your survey information, use it to identify your target personas and make sure your whole organization is aligned on who they are and what their needs are so you can serve them better. That's all for this video. But if you want to explore other ways you can deepen your connection with your readers, please watch the other videos in this series. We have included links in this video. The Google News Initiative also provides in-depth coaching for groups of news organizations through our labs. You can learn more and apply on our website, g.co/newsinitiative. Thank you, and please send us any questions or feedback at contactgni@google.com. Take care!